Hello world, and thanks for tuning into my channel called The Right Number. I am the Mystic Philosopher. I'm also known among my club members and my peers as Dr. David G. Jones, and the founder of the Mystic Philosophers Secular Membership Club of Reason. If you are tuning into this channel for the very first time, welcome. And just let me quickly tell you what this channel is all about. The Right Number is a YouTube media channel through which I, the Mystic Philosopher, share my perspectives, which is also called Another Perspective, The Time for Reason, and almost any and every subject that requires humans who possess an open and independent mind. Human who possess critical thinking, or the ability to think critically. Human who possesses intellectual honesty, or humans who possess the ability to be true to themselves. Humans that are truth seekers, and above all, humans who possess the ability to apply their basic common sense if or when necessary. This channel is also one that invites and welcome people, all viewers, to watch, to visit, to listen, to learn, to critique, and also to share their comments. So you who are watching are also welcome to share your comments and your feedback on my perspectives, and also on any or all of my videos. One of my favorite quotes and suggestion is that of the late Václav Havel. And he said, and I quote, "Seek the company of those who seek the truth, and run away from those who have found it," unquote. Now, seeking the truth and seeking the company of those who are also seeking the truth are also two of the basic philosophies of my peers and members of the Mystic Philosophers Secular Membership Club of Reason. Now, in continuation of my series of presentations titled Redemption from the Curse of the Black Spell, the topic of this presentation is evolution of the N-word. The reason why I am doing this video, and others that are also related to it, the title "The Evolution of the N-word," is to respond to a comment that I heard quite recently by a number of young people of African descent, and a comment that I am also hearing a lot coming from much older and mature people, especially those that are in the entertainment business or the entertainment industry today. And it is that the comment is that the word nigger, euphemistically the N-word, has evolved, and as such it has lost all its original meanings and is now seen, or rather is now seen and can now be used as a term of affection, a term of endearment. It is now being used, or can be used according to their understanding and belief, can now be used as a term of brotherly and sisterly love, camaraderie, etc. Especially when it is used, according to them, among the erroneously, if not from my perspective, contemptuously called black people. So it is my intention, my honest intention, to share my perspectives and possibly to give a deeper insight into this that I, the Mystic Philosopher, personally considered to be a very dangerously erroneous ideology and belief. Now, the first thing that we need to establish and agree upon is which language or whose language are we speaking? Whose language am I currently speaking? Are we speaking the English language or a version of the English language? If the answer is yes, then can the English words that we are using to communicate be defined by any or by all authorized English dictionaries? If the answer to this question is no, then I suggest that you stop right here. For we are unable to establish effective communication. And the rest of this, my presentation, will be just a waste of your time. However, if the answer is yes, then let us continue. Now, what do we mean by evolution? And is the word evolution an English word? Is evolution an English word? To the best of my knowledge, the word evolution is an English word. It belongs to the British and English people. It belongs to their heirs and their successors and to their English language. Evolution. According to the Oxford Canadian Dictionary of Current English, and I quote, sorry, gradual development, evolution, gradual development, especially from simple to a more complex form. Number two, a process by which different organisms developed from earlier forms, unquote. Now, according to the freedictionary.com, and I quote, evolution again, a gradual process in which something changes into a different and usually more complex or better form. Two, the process of developing, that's 2A, the process of developing, and 2B, gradual development, unquote. Please verify these definitions for yourself. This is from dictionary.com, right here online, very conveniently located right here on the internet. Now, from these English dictionaries, or from these English dictionaries' definition, we can see of the word, definition of the word evolution, we can see that it is a very dynamic word, and therefore it represents things that are dynamic. The word evolution is a dynamic word. It's not static, changing, dynamic. Another dynamic word for evolution is the word metamorphosis or metamorphosis. In other words, and from my perspective, a word can only evolve or metamorphosize if or when the things that it represents are also evolving or metamorphosizing. Or, as my mother would say, good, from good to better to best. Metamorphosizing. For example, we use the word evolution or metamorphosis to describe or to explain the sequence of changes and the life cycle of a butterfly. We say the first stage from which the butterfly evolves, or evolves also could mean grows. So the first stage from which the butterfly grows or evolves or metamorphosizes is the egg. It's known as the egg. The second stage to which it evolves or to which it grows is known as the larva. From the egg to the larva, or the larva, L-A-R-V-A, also known as the caterpillar. The third stage is what is known as the pupa, P-U-P-A, pupa, or the chrysalis, or chrysalis, or chrysalis. And the fourth and final stage to which it evolves is known as the adult butterfly. The adult butterfly then lays its egg, or its eggs, and the cycle of the butterfly continues all over again. Now, please note, it's very important to note here, that an adult butterfly's egg does not evolve, or it does not grow or metamorphosize into anything other than an adult butterfly. In other words, it does not evolve into, let's say, a bird, or evolve into a rabbit, etc. It is what it is at its core. So the cycle, it evolves, devolve, if you will. It's same thing. Therefore, if the word nigger or its euphemism, the N-word, is evolving, as a lot of people are claiming, as I meant, people who have mentioned before, it would also mean, or at the very least, it would also imply that the actual people that the word represents, those that are called niggers, are also evolving. They are also growing or metamorphosizing. It too could be likened to the butterfly's egg, or to a seed that is still growing and maturing into a tree or into something. So if we use the analogy of the butterfly, a nigger fetus or fetus would be hereby equivalent to the butterfly's egg, using the analogy. Please follow me. Which the butterflies, the nigger, so the niggers, let me repeat that. So if we use the analogy of the butterfly, a nigger's fetus or fetus would be hereby equivalent to the butterfly's egg. Now, if the fetus would grow or evolve or metamorphosize into a nigger infant child, the nigger infant child would then be equivalent to the butterfly's larva, or the caterpillar, or the caterpillar. The nigger infant could, or rather the nigger infant child would then grow or evolve or metamorphosize into a nigger teenager. The nigger teenager would now then be equivalent to the butterfly's pupa, or to the caterpillar. So a teenager is like a caterpillar. And finally, the nigger teenager, hereby equivalent to the butterfly's pupa or caterpillar, And finally, the nigger teenager, hereby equivalent to the butterfly's puba or chrysalis, would evolve or metamorphosize into an adult nigger, which is hereby equivalent to an adult butterfly, and the cycle would just continue to repeat itself. Now, please note that things do not evolve out of their characteristics and their nature. So a butterfly is a butterfly is a butterfly. And if we use the analogy then of a butterfly, a nigger is a nigger is a nigger is a nigger. Regardless of the 3, 4 or how many stages, it cycles right back into niggery. So, what you need to know, or what you need to ask yourself is, are you a nigger? Or ask yourself, am I a nigger? Remember, it doesn't matter whether you are the nigger seed, or the nigger adult butterfly, or the nigger egg, or the adult nigger. Ask yourself this question, am I a nigger? Because based on the definitions of the word nigger, then only a nigger would think or believe that he could evolve into becoming the opposite of what he or she is, or into something other than what he or she already is by nature. So ask yourself, look up the meaning of the word nigger. Check the etymology, the origin. Watch all of my videos if you don't have the time. And ask yourself, am I a nigger? Am I deserved to be called a nigger? Am I acting, behaving, or manifesting the characteristics of a nigger? Etc. My question to the advocates and promoters of the English word nigger, and also the euphemism, the N-word, and any or all of its variants, nigger, N-I-G-G-A, etc., these are my questions. 1, can something evil evolve into something good? In other words, can an evil seed evolve into a good tree? A good tree that will then bear good fruits that produce good seeds, that itself then produce good seeds. Question number 2, can a leopard change its spots? 3, can an Ethiopian or an African or a Jamaican or a Caribbean person, etc., change his or her skin? And if the answer is yes to all 3 questions, 1, yes, something evil can evolve into something good, for according to the Bible, Satan, the devil, can, and Satan, the devil, has transformed himself into an angel of light. And another word for the word light is the word white. Please again verify this by checking your dictionaries. Then, my follow-up question to you is this. Wouldn't he still be Satan the devil, that is camouflaged as an angel of light, thereby deceiving the world into thinking that he is light or that he is white? Number 2, yes, a leopard can change its spots. If the answer is yes, a leopard can change its spots, then my comment or question is this: wouldn't it still be a leopard at its core and at its nature? But now, a leopard, it would only be a leopard without visible spots. So even though the leopard has changed its spots, it appears different, but at its core, what is it? What is it? Wouldn't it still be a leopard? And 3, if your answer to the question, can an Ethiopian, Jamaican, West Indian, or African change its skin? And if the answer is yes, an Ethiopian, African, Jamaican, etc. can change his, her skin complexion. For example, change his skin complexion through skin bleaching, through skin toning, skin surgery, through medication, through so-called skin whitening creams and chemicals, etc. My question to you is this: wouldn't he or she still be a deceived, confused, self-denying, bleached out, skinned Ethiopian, African, Jamaican, a pathetic, bleached out, skinned Ethiopian, African, Jamaican, etc., who is a pathetic lunatic nigger that is suffering from an extreme case of self-hatred, self-denial, and inferiority complex? So, the answers to all 3 questions is yes, and from my perspective, only a fool. And incidentally, a fool is just one of the characteristics that the word nigger in the English language represents. Or if you prefer, such are the characteristics of a nigger. Therefore, only a fool or a nigger would say or think otherwise. The fact is that it doesn't matter how expensive and fashionable the clothes you put on a pig, the fact is that it is and it will forever remain a pig, and the same is true for wolves in sheep clothing. Therefore, to claim that the English word nigger and its euphemisms, or its euphemism, the N-word, have evolved, have metamorphosized into something good or pure, such as to be now called a word, a term of endearment, is from my perspective the true triune manifestation of the English word nigger. The true triune manifestation of the English word nigger. And what do I mean? It is the true nigger thinking, true nigger talking, and true nigger acting. Therefore, if you are not a nigger and you know it, please don't call yourself a nigger. And please don't give permission for anyone to call you a nigger. Please, you owe it to your ancestors not to do this. However, if you are a nigger, then you're a nigger as a nigger as a nigger. So if after listening to this presentation and you do your research and you still call yourself a nigger, then what else can I say? And don't blame other people when they call you what you are. Don't cry racism or discrimination, blah, blah, blah. If you are calling yourself nigger, acting like nigger, talking like niggers, which the word represents, and then want to, other people who know better and call you nigger would only expect of you to act and behave like a nigger. So please, my young people, my friends, look up these words. There are multiple words in the English language. If you have to use the English language, and we have to use it right now until who knows when. But just choose the right words that best describe who and what you are. Please take an effort to learning the language. It is highly important. And again, I recommend that you watch the rest of my videos and give me your feedback. I look forward to hearing from you. Now, this is the end of this presentation titled The Evolution of the N-Word. Please join me in my next video in the series Redemption from the Curse of the Black Spell, when I will share my perspective on the question, should white people use the N-word? That will be the title. Should white people be allowed to use the N-word, or should they use the N-word? I look forward to hearing from you and your comments, and thanks again for watching. I am the Mystic Philosopher.